Hello, my fellow creators. We've gotten so many questions about the Suno TOS that I decided to take the time out to go over it one more time, and this time very clearly show you the scenarios at play. So take a look at the screen right here. I will be marking up the screen. Right now, we're taking a look at 5 scenarios for Suno. Scenario number 1. You are a pro subscriber and you own the input. The upload is not blocked, and the output, you own the output because you are a pro subscriber, but you also sub-license that to Suno so they can use it for training. I know they made their sub-license agreement rather wide, and it sounds as though they could release the music if they wanted. Trust me when I think they are not in the game of releasing music. They're in the game of selling their software and using the output to make it better. So I don't have any concerns about them using the music, putting it on a playlist and all that stuff. And even if they did, well, I'll be honest, they found my music that good to put on a playlist. That is not really what concerns me at all. What concerns me is not using the tool. So that's my stance. That's my view. I am of the belief that we ain't going to leave with nothing. The songs we create, we're going to leave them behind anyway. So my concerns are very different from many other people. It's not a legal risk because I own the material. The second scenario is a free subscriber. You own the input. It's not blocked. The output is not owned by you. The output in this case is owned by Suno because you do not have the right to use the output. Suno can use it for training, and it's not a legal risk to them. Neither is the first scenario. The third scenario, you have a pro subscriber. They do not own the input, but they are blocked by the system because Suno has a good system that blocks the use of nursery rhymes, hymns, popular songs that have been covered by other people. The system typically does not allow those to be input. This is not applicable because no output is generated, and because no output was generated, they're not even using it for training. It's not a legal risk to Suno. The fourth scenario, you have the free subscriber again. They do not own the input, and therefore it's a popular song by, say, Stevie or Take Six or Herbie Hancock. It's going to be blocked. Not applicable for ownership of the output. It's not going to be used because it was blocked, and it's not a legal risk. Now, the final scenario is a rather risky one for Suno in particular. Number 5. This is for any tier, pro or free. Let's say you are infringing on uploading, right? You upload the content. You do not own the input. That is already a problem. Let's say the input is not blocked. So it goes through and it generates some output. Who owns the output? Even if you are able to fraudulently get an output of the system, maybe because it wasn't detected, you do not own the output. So you are at risk, legal risk. And so is Suno because they were part in the generation of it. Suno could also use that content for training unbeknownst to them. So let's say I get a bunch of songs from a totally different pool than what they're used to, maybe a different country or maybe just outside of what they have purvey of. Well, Suno could be in trouble if they generated that content, but more so when you're signing up, you're saying, I'm going to hold them harmless. So you could actually bear the brunt of such a lawsuit, which is why I highly recommend to you, if you're going to be on Suno, please do not upload stuff that doesn't belong to you. Even if you were the writer, it doesn't mean that you have access and the right to record that stuff. Maybe your record label does. All right. So with that said, let's clear the screen and go over these one by one finally, because I really want to make sure that there are no more questions, at least the basic questions that I've been receiving about this. So scenario number one, Phil uploads his fully owned original song written and produced and published by him. The output ownership, Phil owns the remix that Suno generates, but Suno can still use both the uploaded song and the output for AI training. No opt-out allowed at this point. The best case for Phil is he retains ownership, but his material is exposed to Suno's AI training, potentially improving Suno's system. Option number two, free user owns the song. For example, Phil uploads his song but uses a free Suno account. The ownership output, Suno owns the remix, the output, and Phil does not have exclusive rights. The training use, Suno can use both input and output for training models. The implication is that Phil sacrifices ownership of the output and contributes his work to Suno's AI training ecosystem. If Phil wants to use this, he cannot do so commercially, and he must attribute Suno in whatever he uses. Number three, pro subscriber and doesn't own the song. So let's say Phil uploads a song belonging to a well-known artist, something he doesn't own. Well, the output ownership, Phil cannot legally own the output because he lacks the rights to the input. As far as training use, Suno can use the input and output for training purposes. But Phil is likely infringing copyright laws despite paying for a pro subscription. So if Phil is able to get around the system and upload a song, well, we're talking about something totally different here. Under most circumstances, the song will be blocked. But if the song does go through scenario number five, then it's legally risky for Suno. Same for number four. If someone who is a free user is able to get beyond their security system that prevents known songs from being uploaded and they're able to upload it, they don't own the output, and they could be in big trouble if the owner of that song comes back and says, hey, you used my song, you didn't have the right to it, and so on and so forth. All right, I hope these five scenarios give you a good idea of where you stand. The summary of it all is have a pro account and get ready to have your material be used to train the AI. Personally, I don't see the rationale in being fussed about having my material training the AI. I don't mind. I'm okay with it. As long as someone isn't generating something that is so identical to mine, I'm okay with that. But I know we're all different. We can't all be the same. So you need to figure out for yourself if it works for you. You need to figure out for yourself if Suno is even remotely something you would consider, because some people just won't consider it, and I don't begrudge them. We're all different and we should all be different. Not everyone should be on Suno. Not everyone should use AI the way other people do. So that's okay. There shouldn't be any shaming of people who use it and people who don't use it. It's all up to you. I hope this clarifies things further. If you have any more questions, please feel free to send them in. Thank you very much.